second today. Second yesterday and first today. You're having pretty good competition so far.
No, it's a great competition. I'm really pleased about winning the special, and second yesterday was interesting because I was experimenting with some new ideas or just tweaking some ideas, and it puts me on very thin ice with Regardez Moi, but the judges liked it, and so the sweat had been coming out of my sort of brow trying to keep the Grand Prix together, and sort of tweaking, increasing his roundness a little bit. But when he increases his roundness, he's very inclined to then just duck and go on the front end, and if I sit him right on his backside, and I can take him through a test really engaged, but he's got to be so up in front that the judges are uncomfortable with him through the pole, and the neck being sort of round enough that he's over the back. I mean, he's an interesting sort of conundrum because Regardez Moi can piaffe and passage to bring the cows home, and he's just brilliant in it. But the trick is to keep him really balanced, and it's easiest to do that with him right up. The judges don't like that. So I was tinkering with that yesterday, and it was so close to me sort of losing the plot, but we hung in there, and the judges responded and marked him well, and so I've got no choice. I've got to keep trying to go with that. Now today, in the special, he was good in the special. He probably held himself in better balance today. I'm not sure if I had quite enough roundness that the judges were quite so comfortable with him, but he scored a 67. That's good. I mean, Australia's got to go through the 70% barrier, so we've got to get real about this. And I'm not for a moment saying I was undermarked. That's not what I'm saying. But it was good enough today to win, and so it makes you feel really good. And Sheridan Ashwood with Prestige, she's right there behind me, and she's really very enthusiastic about beating me, so I daren't make a slip. The test today, I thought I'd actually thrown it away. The horse was going well, and you come down the centre line in the special, and you do a pirouette on the centre line real early, and then you do 9 ones down the centre line, 9 one-time changes. Well, you've got to sort of hang on after the pirouette for about 7 or 8 strides before you start your ones. Otherwise, everything happens, at the bottom end of the arena, and you have to have so much nerve to hang on because you think you're running out of room. And I sort of counted down 7 strides. I could have gone 8, but that was as far as my nerves would sort of hang on. And at 7, then I started the ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9's what's required. And I went 9 straight down the centre line. Beautiful. And then I went 10, 11. And I was so excited about getting the 9, I just didn't really switch off, and I put in another 2. Well, that would have completely wrecked that movement. I couldn't believe I was so silly. It is all about sort of keeping you cool, and the movements come at you so quickly, you sort of have to be preparing for the next one even before you finish the first one, and it's just such a sort of layered, complex exercise to go through those tests, and that was just so stupid. And I thought that'd be right, and I'll probably lose this test on that mistake, but fortune was with me today, and so I didn't. And tomorrow is the freestyle. I'd love to win the freestyle. Now, to be fair, today Diamond Tina and Marie Tompkinson did not compete. She won the Grand Prix yesterday, so in the freestyle tomorrow, I'm sure she's going to be in that, and it'll be a head-on. But as far as Regardez Moi and I are concerned, we're certainly gaining in confidence, and it's been a great day.
So spectators can expect quite a fierce competition between the top few contenders tomorrow.
Oh yeah, and I think Diamond Tina, Marie's horse, is just amazing, just the most beautiful thing. I think if you look at the one-time changes and the changes every second stride, I'd give it a 10. I mean, I'm watching it sort of almost hoping it's going to make a mistake. It doesn't. And it's beautiful, like beautiful by any standard anywhere in the world. And Marie, she's very experienced, but she rides it really well. And so trying to beat something that is just brilliant is difficult, but Regarde-Moi is very strong in the piaffe and passage, and so and he's also an experienced competitor. So it's up to me to go to the limits, to take advantage of our strengths, and just hope that Diamantina sort of trips up in her youthfulness. Like, she's only young. Not that I really wanted to do that, but I do want to win. And then, of course, there's Prestige and Sheridan, and they're going fantastic. And then, there's a horse called Tango and Carolyn Wagner, and that's beautiful. They're quite. Tor Vanderberg's down from Queensland. He's the ultimate competitor. He's so hungry, and he's got a great stallion in Fisherman's Friend. And yeah, like tomorrow night, it's anybody's game, and there'll be some very, very competitive riders out there trying to win.
This is the 20th anniversary of the Sydney CDI. It's a very special event for a lot of people. What does it mean to you?
The CDI is the ultimate in Australia. We get really fantastic judges brought in by this organising committee. So it's the one show that you can go to and you get a very clear indication as to where you're performing and ranking in terms of other competitors the world over, and you just look at your percentages. Nothing to boast about just at the moment, but it does keep you in touch with reality, and you sort of hang out for that. Being in down under in Australia, it's a very expensive exercise to take you and your horse overseas, and video footage and that sort of thing is just brilliant in terms of letting you watch what the other guys are doing. But there's nothing like head to head. Well, we can't quite do that yet easily without taking our horses into the Northern Hemisphere, which is a huge exercise. But by bringing the top judges out of Europe back here to Australia is really, really important for us, and that is nearly as good. It really lets us know where we are. And the CDI here at Sydney, that's a traditional thing. The best judges in the world are gathered here for us to compete in front of, and so as a competitor, it's a must-do thing if you're half serious.
Now, while we have you, tell us, how's Rosie going ahead of Mannheim this weekend?
Oh yeah, no, Rosie's good, thank goodness. She has been in the Northern Hemisphere now. She's based in Holland for 2.5 weeks. It took 40 hours from stable door here in Australia to stable door in Holland. The horses, when they're travelling, once you go through the 12-hour mark, they start to stress and the immune systems go down, and it's really tricky. Travelling them for longer periods than 12 hours, and you can get sort of travel sickness, and Mary Hannah's Olympic horse indeed did get that, and died, and so that's a huge risk that we Australians run, taking our horses back into the Northern Hemisphere, or indeed anyone sort of buying a horse in the Northern Hemisphere and bringing them back down under. And especially with such a short time frame, it was really, really difficult getting the horse over there so he was in peak fitness and could compete this weekend. And Rosie said she had some wonderful people on the plane. The pilots going into Hong Kong requested the long runway so they didn't pull up too quickly, and gave him a more gentle landing. And a lot of people tried very hard, and that was with IRT, International Racehorse Transport Company, and so the horse is there, he's fit, he's healthy, and I think the Grand Prix is on Saturday, so sort of within the next sort of 48 hours, and it's going to be very interesting. But Rosie's going in healthy, and at this moment she's buoyed and feeling good about the whole exercise, so that's good for me. Terrific.